All right. We're on railroad workplace safety. Subpart A, 214.1, Purpose and Scope. The purpose of this part of the preventing accidents, casualties to the employees involved with a certain railroad inspection, maintenance, and construction activities. These parts prescribe minimum federal safety standards for the railroad workplace safety subjects addressed herein. The part does not restrict railroad or railroad contractor from adopting or enforcing additional one more stringent requirements, additional or more stringent requirements not inconsistent with its parts. 214.3, the part applies to the railroad that operate the rolling equipment on the track that is part of the general railroad system of the transportability. 214.5, responsibility of compliance. It's too far away. Any person of any type of the covered by the Title 1 U.S. Standard Code 1, including but not limited to the following: a railroad manager, supervisor, official, other employee as an agent of the railroad, any employer, any owner, manufacturer, leaser, or lessor of the railroad equipment track of the facility, independent contractor provided with a good service to the railroad, and any employee of such an owner, manufacturer, lessor, or leaser, or independent contractor who violates any of the requirement of this part or cause of the violation of any such requirement is the subject to the civil penalty of at least $650 or not more than $25,000 per violation. Except the penalties may be assessed against the individuals only for the willful violations, whereas grossly negligent violations or a pattern of repeated violations that has created immediate or imminent hazard of death or injury has a cause of death or injury, a penalty not to exceed $105,000 per violation may be assessed. See Appendix A to this part for the statement of the agency's civil penalty policy. All right, 214.7 definitions. Unless otherwise provided that are as used in this part or adjacent tracks means two or more tracks within the track center space and less than 25 feet apart. Anchorage means the secure point of the attachment of lifeline, lane yards, and deceleration devices independent on the means of supporting the suspending of the employee's body belt means a strap that can be held when secured around the waist and the body attached to the lanyard, lifeline, or deceleration device. The body harness means a device with the straps that are secured about the person in a manner so that it distributes the fall arrests the force over at least the thighs, shoulders, pelvis, waist, chest, and that of attached to the lanyard, lifeline, deceleration device. Class 1, 2, and Class 3 have been meaning assigned with the Title 49 Code Federal Regulations of Part 12 101 General Instructions 1-1. Competent person means one who is capable of identifying existing predictable hazards in the workplace and who is authorized to take prompt corrective measures to eliminate them. Control operator means of the railroad employee in charge of the remotely controlled switch or derail in the interlocking controlled point or segment of the controlled tracks. Controlled track means the track was open upon the railroad operating rules require that all movements of the train must be authorized by the train dispatcher or control operator. Deceleration device means of a mechanism including but not limited to rope grabs, ripsticks, lanyards, specially woven lanyards, tearing or deforming lanyards, automatic self-retracting lifeline lanyards that are served to dissipate a substantial amount of the energy during the fall arrest, otherwise limit the energy on a person during the fall of the rest. Definite train location means of a system for establishing on-track safety for the providing of the road workers with the information about the earliest possible time for the approaching trains may pass specific locations prescribed in 214.331 of this part. Continued. Designated official means of any of the person designated by the employer to receive notification of non-compliant conditions on the track, roadway, maintenance machines, and high rail vehicles. Effective securing device. When used in relation to the manually operated switch, derail means one switch is vandal resistant, tamper resistant, and designed to apply to the secure, unique, tagged and removed only by the class, craft, and group of employees from whom protection is being provided. Employee means of an individual who is engaged and compensated by the railroad by a contractor to the railroad air perform any of the duties defined in this part. The employer means of a railroad contractor to the railroad directly engaged as compensates individuals to perform any of the duties defined in this part. Equivalent means the alternative design materials method of the railroad contractor that can demonstrate will provide equal or greater safety for the employees that means specified in this part. Excessive track occupancy means of a method establishing work limits on the control track in which movement authority of the trains and other equipment is withheld with the train dispatcher on the crane control operator restricted to the flagman as prescribed in 214.321. A flagman, when used in relation to the road worker safety, means the employee designated with the railroad direct and restrict the movements of the train past the point of the track to provide on the track safety of the roadway workers while engaged in solely in performing that function. Foul time is a method of establishing work limits on the control track in which the roadway worker is notified with the train dispatcher on the control operator with no trains with the operating within a specific segment of the controlled track until the roadway worker reports clear of the track and described in 214.323 or to this part. Following the track, the means of a placement, the individual and item of the equipment in such proximity to the track that the individual equipment could be struck by a moving train or on-track equipment in any case within the 4 feet of the field side of the near running rail. Free fall means any of the acting falling before the personal fall arrest system begins to apply the force to the arrest of the fall. The free fall distance means the vertical displacement of the fall arrest of the detachment point of the person's body harness between onset of the fall and the point at which the system begins to apply with the force to arrest the fall, and the distance excludes the deceleration distance of the lifeline, lanyard elongation, and within includes the deceleration device, slide distance, and self-retraction lifeline lanyard extensions before they operate and the fall arrest force occurs. High rail vehicle means a roadway maintenance machine that is manufactured to meet the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards and is equipped with retractable flange wheels so that the vehicle may travel over the highway or on railroad tracks. High rail vehicle means a high rail vehicle that is ordered after December 27, 2013 or completed after September 27, 2014. Inaccessible tracks means of a method in establishing work limits on the non-controlled track of the physical preventing entry of the movement of the trains equipped in individual training detection means of a procedure which a lone worker requires on the track safety being such as approaching the trains leaving the track before they arrive, which may be used only when circumstances strictly defined in this part. Informational lineup of the trains means the information provided with the prescribed format of the road workers of the train dispatcher regarding the movement of the train authorized and expected in the specific segment of the track during the specified period of time. The lanyard means a flexible line of wire rope strap that is used to secure the body harness to the deceleration device. Lifeline anchorage. Lifeline means of a component following a rest consisting of a flexible line that connects the anchor at one end of the hanging vertical lifeline to the anchor at the both ends of the stretch horizontal lifeline, and that serves as the means for the connecting of the components of the personal fall rest system to the anchorage. A lone worker means an individual road worker who is not being afforded on the track safety by another roadway worker who is not a member of the roadway worker group and who is not engaged in the common task with another roadway worker. No non-controlled track means that the track upon which the trains is permitted with the railroad rule with special instruction to the move that with receiving authorization from the train dispatch or the control operator on the track roadway maintenance machine means a self-propelled railroad mounted on highway maintenancing machine whose lightweight in excess of 7.5 thousand pounds, which purposes is not the inspection of the railroad track on track roadway maintenance machine exiting means on track roadway maintenance machine that does not meet the definition of new on the track roadway maintenance machine. On track roadway maintenance machine new means of an on track roadway maintenance machine that is ordered after December 26, 2013 and completed on September 27, 2014. All right, on-track safety means the state of the freedom from the danger of being struck by the moving of the railroad train or other railroad equipment, provide the operating safety rules for the governing of the track, occupancy of the personal on the track's equipment. Personal fall arrest system means a system that used to arrest the fall of a person who is working on the level and consistent with the anchorage connectors of the body harness, lanyard, or deceleration device or lifeline. Combination of these qualified means of the status obtained by the employee who has successfully completed any required training for the demonstrated proficiency and has been authorized by the employer to perform the duties of the particular position of the function. Railroad, means of all forming non-highway grounded transportation that runs on rails and electromagnetic guideways, including one commuter or the short-haul railroad passenger service in the metropolitan suburban area, or two high-speed ground transportation system that connects metropolitan areas without regard to whether they use new technologies not associated with the traditional railroad. Such terms does not include rapid transit operations within an urban area that are not connected with the general railroad system of the transportation. Your railroad brigade. Railroad bridge means the structural supporting one or more railroad tracks above the land or water with a span length of 12 feet or more, measuring along with the track center line. With the term applies to the entire structure between the faces of the back walls, abutment, and the equivalent components, regardless of the number of spans. Includes all but such structures, whether a timber, stone, or concrete, metal, any combination thereof. Roadway bridge worker or bridge worker. Railroad bridge worker or bridge worker, meanings of an employee or an employee of the contractor of a railroad owning and are responsible for the construction, inspection, testing, maintenance of a bridge, who is assigned duties if and performed on the bridge includes inspection, testing, maintenance, and repair and construction restriction, and the on the track bridge structural members on the operating mechanism, water traffic and control system, signal communications, train control system integral to the bridge. Restricted speed means the speed that it will permit the train or other equipment to stop within one half of the range of the vision of the other person operating with the train or other equipment, but not exceed 20 miles per hour unless they are further restricted by the operating rules of the railroad. A roadway maintenance machine means a device powered by any of the means of the energy other than the hand power which is being used on the near railroad truck for the maintenance, repair, construction, inspection, track, bridges, roadway, signal communications, electrical traction system. Roadway maintenance machine may have been road or railways with stationary roadway maintenance machines equipped with a crane. Many means of any railroad or maintenance machine equipped with a crane or boom that can hoist, lower, and horizontally move a suspended load. Road work group means the two or more roadway workers organized worked on the common task. Roadway worker means an employee of the railroad or the contractor of the railroad, whose duties include inspection, construction, maintenance, repair, roadway, track, bridges, and roadway signals, communication systems, electrical traction systems, roadway facilities, roadway maintenance machinery on the near of the truck within the potential following of the track, and flagman watch to lookouts as defined in the section. Self-retracting lifeline and lanyard means a deceleration device that contains a drum wound line that may be slowly extracted and retracted onto the drum under slight tensions during normal employee movement, which after onset of the fall automatically locks the drum and arrests the fall. Alright, snap hook means of a connector or communicator compromised with a hook-shaped member with a normally closed keeper that may be open to permanent to the hook to the receiving object. When released, automatically closes to retain the object. Train approaching warning means a method establishing the track safety by warning road workers on the approach of the trains and ample time for them to move and remain in place. The safety accordance with the requirements of this part of the train coordination means a method of establishing work limits on the track upon the track holding exclusive authority to move, whereby the crew of the train yields the authority to the road worker. Train dispatcher means of a railroad employee assigned to the control issue orders governing the movement of the track segment of the railroad track in accordance with the operating rules of the railroad that apply to the segment of the track. Watchman or lookout means of an employee who has been annually trained and qualified to provide warning to the roadway workers of approaching trains and on-track equipment. Watching men and lookout shall probably be equipped to provide visual and auditory warnings such as a whistle, air horn, white disc, or red flag, ladder, and fuse. The watchman lookout sole duty is to look out for the approaching trains and on-track equipment, provided at least 15 seconds in advance warning to the employees before arrival of the trains to on-track equipment. Working limits may be a segment of the track, defined boundaries established in accordance with this part. Upon the train's engines may move only as authorized by the roadway workers having control over the defined segment. Working limits may be established through the exclusive track occupancy and accessible track or foul time or train coordination is defined herein. Alright, moving on to subpart B, bridge work safety standards.